Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the best wallpaper application that you can get for your Android or iOS device, as this applies to both iOS devices like the iPhone and anything Android. Now, I know that sounds kind of strange because the majority of the times applications like wallpaper apps don't necessarily translate from one OS to the other. However, what if I told you that in this video, what we're actually going to be looking at is the camera on your device, and that's how you're going to be getting the wallpapers that you want, because at the end of the day, you can basically film anything, set it as your wallpaper, and then you've got a really awesome setup. Now, the only application, and I say that lightly, that you actually need to use is a gallery app. So for me, that's going to be Google Photos, and then I've got a folder simply titled Wallpapers, where I'm going to then save some of my favorite photos that I've taken. Now, as you can see here, for me, some of my photos do look very similar. Some of them do need a little editing, for example. So this one here was taken landscape. However, with Google Photos and the majority of gallery applications, you can actually go in, edit the photos, whether that's the color, filters, or just for me rotating it. And then if I pinch to zoom, as you can see here, you can then see exactly how it's going to look as a wallpaper on your device. And this is actually slightly different to maybe setting a pet or family member as your wallpaper, as these are going to be photos that you have specifically taken with a wallpaper in mind. So as you can see, for me, a lot of my wallpapers, as you'll see in my folder, are going to be very blank at the top and then have something down the bottom. Now, as you can see here from this one on the street, for example, it's very high resolution, so again, zooming in doesn't cause any issues whatsoever, but again, I've got that blank space at the top there, and it's a little bit more busy down on the bottom section. And as you can see, a lot of my photos do have sky in them, because for me, looking up at something and taking a photo sometimes has some of the best results. However, you can also get some really awesome results just by looking down. So here we've got a pavement, a drain, and some really bright yellow lines. And again, it really nicely divides up the picture and allows me to have stuff I want at the top, blank, and then down the bottom where all my icons are going to be going. And you can also take this the complete opposite direction and point directly up at the sky. And again, you can see here that I've got a really nice planar wallpaper. So again, it's not really going to be too busy, which some of you may definitely prefer. And you can basically take pictures of anything that you want to, whether it's landscape or portraits, as long as you're using a decent camera. Once you actually then zoom in, you're not really going to lose any quality. And the best thing about this is you can just use the camera that's built into your device to take any photos that you need to. Now again, zooming on this one here, very high resolution. It can look very simple, but once you zoom in and actually get everything all framed up, it can actually look quite nice, and it doesn't really depend on exactly what you take a photo of. You can do animals, pictures, landscapes, whatever it's going to be. For me, on my OnePlus 6T, when I also go and set it as a wallpaper, it does give me some very brief editing options as well. So I can crop and move where I want to within the actual picture itself, as you can see here. So for me, I maybe just want to have the street, maybe a car down the bottom, and then I've also got the opportunity to straighten the photo as well. And then again, once I've done that, I'm going to then click it, set it as my wallpaper, and then when I go back to my home screen, you can see that I've got a really nice wallpaper that I've taken myself. Everything looks how I want to with the top and bottom sections. So this for me is probably one of the best ways to get any wallpaper that I want. And you can also do it with even darker wallpapers. If you've got an AMOLED screen, then you may want to take something a little bit darker so that it can save on battery life, and you've got those really deep blacks. So this one here was just a photo that I took of a closed barber shop straight through the window, and again, zooming in, you can see here that it looks incredibly nice, and if I was to use that as my wallpaper, I would be perfectly happy. Now, the ultimate wallpaper, if you get my drift, can also just be a picture of a wall. Has some really nice texture to it. Sometimes there's graffiti or words on it as well, so it can actually bring a lot to your device, and again, it's just a photo of a wall. Now you can also go ahead and edit a photo as well. So for me, Snapseed for editing photos in regards to color, saturation, and things like that is what I'm going to be using. But we've also then got applications like lens distortion, which can allow you to add some cool effects and things onto your photo. So for me, if I head into Snapseed here, increase the saturation of this picture, also the brightness, bring the contrast down ever so slightly, play around with the shadows and also the warmth as well, you can see that I've very quickly changed a photo to again again make it pop and look a little bit different to the actual original picture. Now this is something that you may find with wallpaper applications. They're not just simple photos, they have been edited in a certain way. Now you can also then go into the blur settings as well, and if you make it as small as possible, take off the vignette, shove it up in the corner as you can see just here. What you can also do then is just have a completely blurred out wallpaper if you really want to make your icons pop. So again, switching back and forth between the two there, you can see exactly how that's going to look. Once I then click done, it's going to save it exactly where it was, allowing me to basically go to that photo, set it as my wallpaper, and then I've got a really nice blurred look which makes the icons pop, and also my date widget at the top as well. And again, it's a photo that I've taken, but you may not know it. And that's actually going to do it, guys, for this video on the best quote unquote wallpaper application for any mobile device. Now again, don't get me wrong, it helps if you have something like a telephoto lens like on my OnePlus 6T here, or like on an iPhone device, but it can also help using the standard lens or even a wide angle lens like on a Samsung Galaxy S10 for example. Now if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below, and if you've got any questions, comments or any recommendations for actual specific wallpaper apps, let me know in the comment section down below or on Twitter at Copper vs Glass. And I also want to see what you guys are doing with your wallpapers and also with your setups, so there's also going to be a hashtag for Copper vs Glass wallpaper, and again if you use that on Twitter or on Instagram, I may be featuring some of your setups in an upcoming video. Again, that's hashtag Copper vs Glass wallpaper, and again we'll see exactly what you guys are working with, whether that's a general setup or a photo that you've taken to use on your device like I've done in this video. Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you're not already subscribed, now is a great time to do so. I'm going to be uploading a ton more videos very shortly, so again turn on that notification bell so that you're notified anytime that I post a video here on the channel. Well, I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass. Thanks for watching, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next video.